Hey guys, back with Tua for another video. Wanted to talk about crates today, or kennels some people call them. Why I use them for my dogs, always have, always will. It sure makes life easier for you. I like using these big wire ones, but it doesn't really matter what kind of crate you guys use. There's those big ones that have mostly plastic. But I just like these big wire ones because it helps me see him better. He can see me better and just see more of his surroundings. We have this one in our bedroom next to our bed. That's where we like him to sleep. That's just best for potty training and stuff, especially when they're young. And I basically treat the crate like it's his bedroom. He's a kid. This is his room or their den if they were in the wild. This is kind of their little safe space. Some dogs mind crates. I've always had dogs that kind of liked them. Like even if you leave the door open, and they don't need to be in there. Sometimes they want to take a nap. They'll go ahead and go in there. It also helps you when you're training because it gives you a lot of control when you need to leave. And you don't have to leave them for free reign of the house until you completely trust them. You have a spot where you can put them and you know they're safe. They're not going to do any damage to your house or themselves, anything like that. I usually keep it pretty simple. All I have in here for him is a couple blankets, and I like to have one toy, so that is his toy. And it just... when you're leaving something in there, you don't necessarily have to. I just like to give him something to do if he does get bored, if he has to be in there for an extended period of time. But if you are going to put something in that crate, please make sure that it's something that they cannot chew up and swallow, or something that's not small enough that they could choke on. This here that I have in there now, that's starting to get what I would consider borderline. I'll probably change that out with something else in a week. Because the last thing I want is him to be chewing on that and choke on it when I'm not around to do anything about it. Most dogs that I've had in the past, I've taught them to go to their crate on command. I'll probably do that with Tua. I don't have any plans to do it anytime real soon, but I'm guessing I'll do that. He goes in it pretty good now. But I'll probably eventually work into teaching him how to go to his crate on command, and I'll make some videos in the future about how I do that, if and when I decide to teach him, but I'm sure I will. I've done it with all my other dogs, so I don't know why I wouldn't do it with him, but it's just not really high on the priority list right now. I know, buddy, I know. Another thing is try your best not to use these as punishment. That's how you'll end up getting a dog that doesn't like to go in his crate, and they're not always going to like to go in their crate, kind of like a kid when you tell them to go to their room, but they shouldn't fear it or hate it or anything like that. And it's okay to put them in there if they're, just getting into too much stuff, and you might be mad at them, but don't, like, with anger, put them in there or anything like that, because that's going to show them that it's like, oh, I was bad, this is where I go when I'm bad, and that's not what you want. But if you just need a break, just happily put them in there, give them a little something to chew on, maybe give them a treat, and that's all you really need to do. But try not to ever put them in there in like a fit of rage or anything like that, guys, because that's just going to make your puppy associate with something like, when I'm bad, this is where I go, and that's not the idea or what you want to do with the crate. It needs to be a happy, positive place for them to hang out, relax, be comfortable. The last thing that I want to mention is when they're potty training, I don't necessarily have blankets in there because it will encourage them a little bit to go ahead and go pee on that blanket, because it'll just soak up and they can kind of kick it aside. You don't necessarily have to not use one, but just be aware of that. They might be more inclined to go ahead and pee on that if you have one in there. So I usually, until they're better with potty training, I just won't won't have one. However, if you want to put one in there, no big deal. The other thing with that too is when they're potty training, you should use a either divider wall that comes with some of these wire crates like this, or this crate's so old, I had it for dogs in the past, that I don't have that wire divider wall anymore. So I know, buddy. So we actually just used a box, and the point of that is to make the crate smaller for the same reason when they're potty training, that they're not going to want to pee in there and be sitting in their pee. So if you have it big and open like this, how his is now, all you'd have to do is go to like this back corner here, go pee, and come lay back down here. And that's not the type of behavior that you're going to want. So keep that in mind when they're still potty training and not able to hold it. Try and shrink this crate size down so that they do not pee in a corner or anything. And don't buy a small crate, guys, and then have to upgrade to another medium crate, and then when they're bigger, get a big crate, because then you just spent money on 3 of them. Just try and put something in there, a big box, or like I said, they come with divider walls too. And that makes life really easy on you. But beyond that, that's pretty much all I wanted to cover. Hey, Tua, I know, I'm going to get you out of here in a second, buddy. I'm sorry. I'll let you out. But yeah, beyond that, that's kind of all I wanted to cover about these crates. They're a good tool. I know people that haven't used them. I have friends that haven't used them. And it just makes life hard because there's no really spot for your dog to go. Especially when they're potty training, it's like impossible. Because what do you do with your dog when you leave, other than maybe throw them in the yard? But that's not exactly the safest thing either. So yeah, if you have any questions about crates or crate training, go ahead and just let me know. But that's all I have for you guys on crates. And Tua is happy to be out right now, right, buddy? Thanks for watching, guys.